edition of New Covenant Community Connect Live Show. This is our opportunity to bring to our communities all the different professional people and things that help us in our lives. And today we have a wonderful guest with us that I've known her actually all of her entire life. And we have Miara Hussey, and we're going to be sharing about childcare today. But before we start that, we want you to share, share, share this with other people who will be interested, and we are sure you will get something beneficial out of this. Well, welcome, Miara. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Good. Tell everybody your actual God-given name. I love this.
Miara Bernadette Faith Hussey.
But did you hear her say, Miara, Bernadette, underline, underline, circle, star? That's because she's named after her grandmother, and that would be me. All right. That's why I said I've known her absolutely all of her life, and she has been the joy of our lives. And she doesn't get to tell you, she is our first grandchild. All right.
Yes.
So Miara has gone into the child care industry. And we're going to be talking a little bit about that. Miara, tell our audience, how did you come about a passion for childcare?
I think I've always been drawn to children in a way, even when I try to drift away and do other things. It's like I've always been drawn to children. I think what really helped me want to pursue the career into doing it is it became so natural that it was you can't really ignore that. Like it
Okay.
was. I used to always wonder what gifts was I born with. I feel like everybody was around and born with a talent. They could sing, dance, rap, cook, and I was like, I didn't have anything, but I always had the magic touch with children, and I think everybody don't have that touch. Everybody can't watch more than one child, and once I realized that that was my gift, and I feel like my calling, then I put my all into it, and it's magically grown to so much more than what I could have even imagined.
Wow. So, childcare, how does childcare differ from babysitting?
Babysitting, um, if you ask the common parent, it doesn't. We are all glorified babysitters at the end of the day. um, but babysitting, people usually have it as, can you watch my kid for a few hours? I have to go to the store. I don't really care what you do with my kid. Just keep them safe until I come back. Childcare is it's more structure. It's more of a planned out day. It's more of making sure your child is fed at certain times throughout the day, not just handing out fruit snacks and saying, if they've eaten. It's making sure that they have, like I said, structure, discipline, the core beliefs of their learning, all being developmentally, handled.
Mm. So the things you just named, so child care actually has different parts to it. You
Yes.
have the watching the child, you got feeding the child, you got, if they're there long enough, making sure they get a nap or some kind of rest. Is that correct?
Yes.
You got educating the child. Oh my goodness, that's some different parts right there. Now, what year did you actually get certified in this area?
Uh, 2021.
Okay, 2021. And where did that certification come from?
I got my CDA. It came from, I forgot what's the name of it. Michigan's something. My
State,
apologies.
State of Michigan.
Yes.
State of Michigan. Wonderful. Just want the audience to know that you are qualified in this area that you are working in. Now, what would be the difference other than all of this responsibility when you were serving for other daycare centers or working for somebody else than the child care center that you have started yourself?
The major difference, working for somebody else. I think it's so much more freer when you have your own, because
Mm,
you know what your heart is, you know what you can handle, you know what your philosophy is of your center, what you stand for, what you believe in, what you do and don't agree with. Versus working for somebody else, you kind of gotta, it's tough. If you see a child dealing with something, you have to make sure that your boss is okay with the way you intervene and step in with the parents and how
mm,
the children, all these other things, when it's just like my heart desired to do this for this family, just like this, but now I have to go
right.
third party, and it's just, it's so much better when it's yours.
Okay. Now, Miara, are you allowed to pray for the children at your child care center?
Yes, I put it in my contract.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. That is so good. So you are dealing with the child and you're dealing with the parents. Do
Yes.
you find it uncomfortable in any way to deal with the parents, or is that a part that you welcome?
I think back in 2010, the parents
Okay.
are amazing.
Oh,
I,
what happened?
um, gentle parenting.
Okay.
um,
Wow.
I think what happened is life. I think there are a lot more exhausted parents. I think there are a lot more parents who are going through more divorces than they were back then. There are a lot more kids being diagnosed with things now that parents are not having the tools to handle, and just expecting you to pick up the pieces and handle. Like I said, there are a lot more exhausted parents. So when you're at home, or when you're at the center and you're working with the kids, you fix them up, you got them to the schedule, they're potty training right, and then they go home for the weekend, come back Monday, and it's like, well, what happened? So I think it's just really life, and you just have to be more compassionate. With that comes, and you have to be more standing on business, because there are a lot of parents who like to make, like I said, we're all glorified babysitters to them. So
Mm,
they don't understand when you're trying to really educate them about their child on certain things, and don't let you have no child of your own. Then you absolutely know nothing. So
wow.
that's where I feel like the difference comes in now. I think there's just a lot more just lax when it comes to the parents, when it comes to helping, I would say. When it comes to
Okay.
helping, making sure everything is copacetic the whole way through.
Okay. Have you, Miara, ever had to deal with a child in the last years you've been in childcare that is what is labeled as hyper or ADHD, ADDD? I don't know all the letters.
The alphabet, yes.
Okay.
Yes, I have.
Okay. All right. So you said some of the parents don't welcome your advice because they think you don't know, or they're too tired to try one more thing.
I think it's a little bit of both. You have some parents that are not educated. So when somebody hits their kid with the label, it's immediately, my child doesn't have that, those things like that. And while understandable, some kids are mislabeled. There are some who need help, early on help, and it's okay to admit you need help early on. Um, so with that, I think it's a lot of things that come into that. And
Oh.
time, funding. Some parents don't have,
Mm,
DHS doesn't help every parent. Just because you have a baby doesn't mean DHS says, I will help you with this. So a lot of it comes down to funding as well.
okay. Wonderful. What would you say, Miara, makes for a safe environment in a childcare setting?
Peace. There needs to be definitely a lot of peace around. I've learned with the years that I've done, I play a lot of meditation music, and I've noticed
Mm,
that a lot of the kids who come in my room, after, like when I worked in the child care center, I had the most peaceful room, and I had all infants, and people used to always come and say, I would think your room would be the most hectic because you have all babies. um,
mm.
But peace is very important. I'm a low lights teacher. I love low lights, and that made a huge difference as well. You never know how much lights bother people.
Oh,
And
wow. Explain that.
um, I was doing one of my trainings, and lighting. Some people are very sensitive to light, and especially when they're at that age, they can't say I'm sensitive to light. You know, you just kind of gotta fill it out. But I've noticed with me, I've had like low lights and music playing at all times. There's also been a study that you learn better with music or something playing in the background too. Some people, of course, some people,
Wow.
I'm not one. I need some type of something in the background for me to really understand what I am taking in. And I've noticed for a lot of kids who've had the ADHD and those things, when they are sent to my room for disciplinary, um, they are automatically, when they came in my space, it was different. You know, it
Mm,
wasn't all of the outside noise in the way they come in. And when there's a peaceful environment, you can now control the narrative a lot better than trying to have to look at me. You're able
okay.
to get the child to listen to you and understand you a lot better, and even just breathe. Sometimes it's just a breather. A lot of people forget that kids are still human, and
Okay.
being overstimulated it's a lot.
Okay. Mm. Wow. When we started out this session, Miara, you said you were always searching for your gifts and you didn't think your gift was singing or dancing. I know firsthand Miara does sing well. And also, Miara is one of the absolute best dancers naturally that I've ever seen in my life. And I mean that. Oh, hello, Coach Leah R. Elijah. That's your mom. She's here supporting. Praise God. And so, what do you do to entertain the children? Do you have dance time, singing time? Do you do any of that in your child care center?
Yes, we have dance parties at least 15 times a day. Um,
Wow.
Honestly, all of the kids love dancing. As you said, it does come naturally. I play music and I just start dancing, and it's a lot of these kids just jump in and they just be running there dancing with me too. We have that. We just random sing. I have instruments that I have for the kids, and we'll make up songs about whatever. I make it.
Oh,
So
wow.
we do all that and outside.
Oh, you get to take them outside. Oh, that's so important.
Yes, for
So
me. Kids
important
too, but for me.
for everybody. Wonderful. All right. So when the parents bring their children to you, do they need to tell you what the child could possibly be allergic to as far as they know?
Yes, it's in my contract. They have to put everything that's in there, that the kid might be allergic to, and things that they haven't tried. I personally put for infants, for parents to put things they haven't tried. I don't want to be the first one to introduce little JJ to peanut butter if you haven't done that yet. So
Okay.
I would rather you do that at home. So if he needs to go to the hospital, you can get him there faster.
I know that's right. I know that's right. Wow. So, Miara, what is your dream, your future dream for childcare if money was no object, time was no object, and space was no object? What what have you dreamed that you would really love to do with childcare?
I would like to build an actual like huge center that looks like a hospital, but it
Oh,
would like one wing would be for postpartum moms, moms who don't necessarily trust their baby being away from them but need a break. So they would be able to go in and check in there, get a nap
wow.
in while their baby is still being tended to them. Then I would have a daycare section that's for regular daycares, people who are just like, I'm cool with daycare, send them on. And then I would have a place for people to drop their children off. Lately in the news, I've been seeing a lot of parents who just leave their kids, go out of town. Kids are being left home
Oh
for
my.
days. And I would want to, if you're going to be negligent, bring them to a safe place at least where I know they're cared for and loved. It's just so many things that, even your kid who you feel like is not old enough, you don't have family, you didn't take a vacation in 3 years, you need one. Where's a safe place I can have my children go for a weekend that, you can still watch with cameras. They'll be able to look in and view, know your people. And it's
Oh wow.
So I would build a place that's a 3-wing place for that. That's my dream for that.
Mm. Wow. So we would be looking at 24-hour care,
Yes.
and you'd be looking at a staff.
Yeah.
This is a wonderful dream. Oh, and I'm believing with you that this actually comes to pass. Wonderful.
Thank you.
So how many shifts do you presently work?
Oh Lord. I know I did it backwards. I went from when you get your own business, just make your own hours. I done gave myself the longest hours known to man.
Oh my.
I do a 6 to 5, 6 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Okay, from where I sit, that looks like 11 to 12 hours.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, do you stipulate the sex of the child, the race of the child? Are there particular children you take, or you don't have any stipulations?
I don't have any stipulations. Preferably no Karen mothers, but other than that, no.
No, what kind?
No Karen moms.
Oh, Karen. Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. Now, do you still presently have a little kitty and a puppy?
2 dogs and a kitty.
Okay. How do the children like coming into a ready-made uh pet place?
Um, they chase my cat around. That's
Oh no.
so when they see her, they're like Kitty, and she's literally chased around the whole house. I think she likes it low key because when I put her away, she just comes back out. She wants to run. As far as dogs, because they're still puppies,
Uh-huh.
yeah, they're all toys.
Oh my goodness. I imagine some of the children get so used to them, they can't wait to come see them.
Well, the beautiful thing is, so many kids have pets now. Literally, all of my kids at the moment have their own pets. So
Okay. Okay.
they they have taken to all my animals just fine.
Wonderful. Is there a ceiling on the age of child that you would take for childcare? With the summer coming up, I'm wondering this.
Um, yes and no. For
Okay.
me at the moment, I've built such a solid foundation with all of my parents I have at the moment that if their kid that I have now, like say their kid reached 6 years old, my heart wouldn't just be able to say find somewhere else because they helped me start where I am now. Um, but yes, I will eventually be getting a cap, which would be 5 and under.
Oh, 5 and under.
Yes.
Okay. So in the summer, will you be doing anything differently when the kids are out of school?
Um, because I do 5 and under, most of my kids are all preschool, so they're really going to like 8 to 12. So it wouldn't really be any different than what we do now, just outside more often.
Okay. All right. Do you have an opening for more children? Does it change? Do you go up and down? Is there an opening for more? Or are you cut off with who you can take in?
I have a set max number of kids that I know that I can handle.
Uh-huh.
And I do not exceed that. As of right now, I have 2 openings left. Um, but yes, once I reach my max, then that is set, and all my parents know, which is why they sign a contract to state because I am not a drop-in babysitter. Once you
Okay.
sign your kid up, your kid is up because I have my max number of kids. So if you fail to pay or show up, that is grounds for termination and room for another kid to be able to come in.
Oh, wow. So this is in Muskegon, Michigan, everybody. If you're sitting here in South Carolina, say, I'm going to run my child over there. Sorry. So you see in the future expanding to more people to help you with Miara, help you with the children?
Yes, in the like 5 year future.
Okay. The 5-year plan.
Yeah, right now I'm really enjoying by myself. Um,
Good.
I'm enjoying bonding with the kids, and I know my heart. And I just it's so scary to take a chance on somebody else because just because you like kids don't mean you're gonna like them every day. So you gotta have
Oh, so true.
than other than I like kids, because and often you don't know that somebody doesn't have a passion until they've done something that's like, what? And right now, like I said, I just know my heart, I know my beliefs, I know my plans, my goals with the parents and the kids. And
Right,
I want to build my solid foundation first before I
right,
start to welcome in others.
right. You know, me knowing this, Miara and her husband, but Miara is one of those people who has wanted to give birth to her own child for so many years. So she is still waiting for that. And this, along with some friends that I've had and a woman that I grew up with, who we thought she was like a grandmother to us, but she never had her own children. So she and her husband adopted a boy and a girl, but never had her own children. And so I'm hoping that people don't judge someone who's never had their own child as a person who you could not know, you could not understand, and you could not care like I do. Absolutely not true. Absolutely not true. I just wanted to say that for you right there.